Hi everybody, it's Dr. Kadisha, your board certified emergency medicine physician. I know it's late tonight, but I'm here and my ER and concierge care helps people feel better, be safer, and better prepared for emergent medical situations. And this episode is dedicated to one of my sister docs and one of her husbands. Hi Bertina, how are you? Thanks for coming in tonight. I know it's late. That's why I got the house music going. Just keep the energy going. I got a 24-hour shift ahead of me at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow. So anyway, we'll get started. Hi, Dr. Dietrich. Thanks for coming in. I know it's been a long day. It's been a long day for you and me and Dr. Carol. And this episode is dedicated to our sister doc, Dr. Carol. Okay, so hi, Dr. Dietrich. Thanks for coming in. So again, I'm Dr. Kadisha. I'm your board certified emergency medicine physician, and my ER and concierge care helps people feel better, be safer, and better prepared for emergent medical situations. And today, I want to talk about one of the most common things that drives people to the emergency room. Hi, Brian. Hey, Brian, I gotta see you soon. It's been too long. One of the most common things that drives people to the emergency room, and that is chest pain. A few days ago, our sister doctor had to go to the ER with her husband because he had chest pain, and he was admitted to the hospital to make sure that he wasn't having a heart attack, and luckily they found out that it was stress. And a lot of ER doctors, we see chest pain almost every shift, and like I said, it causes about 6 million ER visits a year in the United States, making it the second most common ER complaint. And although heart disease, and this is Heart Health Awareness Month, although heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, a lot of the chest pain that an individual ER doctor may see in a shift can have a number of other causes other than a heart attack, due to all the other structures that we have in our chest. And this is something for you guys to consider. Okay, so we have to consider everything from our skin to our rib cage to the muscle in between our ribs, the muscle that makes up our chest wall, to our lungs, esophagus, our aorta, the mother of all of our arteries, to the lining of our chest wall, the lining of our lungs, and the soft tissue that holds the esophagus in place and holds the aorta in place, and even our abdominal organs underneath our chest can cause chest pain. And so we have to consider, the other causes of chest pain besides a heart attack. And those could be chest wall pain, chest wall muscle strain, gastroesophageal reflux, aka GERD, costochondritis, which is inflammation at the junction between the bone and cartilage in our chest wall, pneumonia, pleurisy. Pleurisy is like a very sharp, severe chest pain that you can have usually a couple weeks after having a cold or other viral illness. And now is the time for viral illnesses. You could have a very sharp chest wall pain a couple weeks after getting over that virus. And then last but not least, as we're discussing chest pain, hey Molly. Molly's one of my friends from elementary school. Thanks for coming. And last but not least, as another cause of chest pain that's not a heart attack, is stress. Stress. And what can cause stress-related chest pain? Well, it depends on you. because it varies from person to person, and it depends on how we respond to stress. And we all know what can cause stress: job loss, the illness of a loved one. Hi, Dr. Kalani. Thank you for coming in. Financial woes, divorce, interpersonal conflicts with loved ones, co-workers, all those kinds of things. And then how does stress-related chest pain feel? It can be like the sudden onset of sharp, stabbing chest pain, often central, while you're doing nothing. I mean, I see people with anxiety all the time in the ER, and they'll say they weren't doing anything when the chest pain started. But it was just a sharp, sudden onset of chest pain. It can also be, however, tight and heavy. I've had people with stress reactions or anxiety attacks or panic disorders complain of both sharp and stabbing, and I've had people complain of tight, squeezing, heavy type chest pain. It's often accompanied by shortness of breath and that rapid breathing that can cause dizziness. And sometimes if you can't get control of your breathing for a long enough time, you can even pass out. And you have like the palpitations, the rapid racing heartbeat that you can't. Hi, Gary. Oh, God, another friend of mine from elementary school is here. Hi, Gary. Thanks for coming in. And so you feel like you're going to pass out. You know, if you're just breathing fast, shallow, rapid breathing, and you start to feel like numbness in your face, usually around the mouth, numbness in the hands and the feet. You might feel numb all over, and that's usually due to rapid, shallow breathing, otherwise known as hyperventilation. So these are all things that can accompany stress-related chest pain. So while we say, yes, these situations can cause stress-related chest pain, how exactly does it happen? These various situations cause a physical stress response, that fight or flight response in us that can include tightening of the muscles in our chest wall, tightening of the muscle in between our ribs. Our stomach has muscle in it, tightening of our stomach, tightening of the esophagus. There's something called esophageal spasm when the muscle in the esophagus tightens up, and that causes chest pain. You know, your esophagus runs right through the middle of your chest in the back. Tightness in the neck, tightness in the throat. And this tightness is an attempt to protect our bodies from harm. And as our stress or anxiety increases, so can this tightness, leading to pain and fear of a heart attack, which just creates a vicious cycle because you're fearing a heart attack. That fear causes more tightness, more shortness of breath. It can cause sweatiness, difficulty controlling the breathing like we discussed before, and that lightheaded feeling that can cause you to feel numb all over and possibly pass out. So how can you reduce or eliminate this stress-related type chest pain? I know it's late. I'm not going to keep folks. You try calming yourself down. First, by breathing, deep breathing. Taking a step back. You know, maybe even taking a sip of water. I know it's cliche, but taking the deep breaths actually stimulates our body's relaxation response. It takes us out of the fight or flight into a more relaxed mode. So you can try to get control of your breathing by breathing into a paper bag. You know, it helps to slow your breathing. And Dr. Dietrich, she is the relaxation expert. So, take what she says seriously about deep breathing. So, and usually when you come into the ER and you're breathing like that, we give you one of the emesis bags or the barf bags, however you want to call it. And we have people exhaling and inhaling and inhaling into those bags to slow down your breathing. Breathing in that carbon dioxide helps to slow down your breathing. Number 2, accept that you are anxious. Accept it. Accept it. I've noticed that when people come into the emergency room and they already know that they're anxious, they know that it's anxiety, they get a hold of it that much quicker because they know what it is. So once you know what it is, you can get a better grasp of it. You can get control of it better. Remember that anxiety is a feeling just like any other feeling. It's not a catastrophic event. It is a feeling. And given that, you can question the thoughts that are causing this feeling. Ask yourself, is this worry realistic? How likely is the thing that I'm worried about to happen? How likely is that thing to happen? Is it really true? Or does things just seem the way that I'm worried about? And lastly, can I handle it? And usually you can. If you're still standing and you're in your right mind, you can usually handle most of these things that cause anxiety. And another thing you can do is focus on right now. Even if something serious is happening, focusing on the present moment will make it easier to handle that situation. Because when you focus on that moment, you'll realize, hey, I'm on my feet. I'm alive. I know who I am. I know where I am. I know what's going on. It's happened to other people. Other people have made it through. I'm going to make it through. Just taking that moment to think about, to focus on right now, usually brings those thoughts to mind. And I'll be realistic with you. It may take up to 20 minutes to calm yourself down. Hi, Dorita. Thanks for coming in. It may take up to 20 minutes or so for you to calm yourself down, which is normal when recovering from a major stress response. So if you're with a friend who is going through that and it's taking a while, don't worry if it's taken 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes up to 20 minutes or more to really come down from a major stress response. When folks come to the ER for anxiety, it's not just an in and out thing. They're usually there for, up to an hour. So, if it's just anxiety. So what about, and I know people worry about, what about if I'm having a heart attack? How do I tell the difference? And I'll be realistic with you. Heart-related chest pain, that usually is typified by pain in your arms, your neck, your jaw, your shoulder, or your back, accompanying that squeezing tight, pressure type chest pain. And you could have profuse sweating, shortness of breath. Women are known to have just extreme fatigue. And unfortunately, anxiety can occur with a heart attack as well. That's what makes it tricky. And the dizziness and passing out can also accompany a heart attack. And that's where we doctors come in. And often it's easy for doctors to tell the difference between stress and heart-related chest pain because, we take it person by person, the age of that person, the overall health of that person, and if you have a history of it. Now, however, as we get up in age, though, like, our late 40s on up, and if you have the cardiac risk factors, again, this is Heart Health Awareness Month, and I'm talking about stress-related chest pain, but we're talking about distinguishing stress-related chest pain from cardiac chest pain. We have to take into consideration the cardiac risk factors, which are hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, if you smoke, if you have a strong family history, meaning do you have immediate family relatives who've had heart attacks in their 50s or younger? And then right behind that is obesity. I'm surprised. Right behind that is obesity. And when you're, being over 50 is more of a risk factor for heart disease. So in that case, we want to be more cautious with you, and we're more likely going to advise admission for observation to make sure that you are not having a heart attack. We will need to get, that first set of heart blood work might be normal. It usually is. It usually is normal that first time, even if something cardiac is going on. That's why it's good to know that it's normal. But when you're older and you have these cardiac risk factors, we tend to want to admit you to the hospital to get repeat sets of that cardiac blood work. It could be at 4-hour intervals. It could be at 6-hour intervals. Usually we want to get 3 sets of those blood tests. So that's why we typically want to admit you to the hospital. So please do not be offended or surprised if you go to the hospital for chest pain and the ER doctor tells you that that first set of blood work is normal. Most likely it's going to be normal, and it might take time for the true cause of your chest pain to be revealed if it's not something obviously catastrophic, which we can discuss that another day. But so that's why we want to be more cautious and admit folks for observation. You know, once folks get in their 50s and they have hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, a history of smoking, strong family history, we want to admit those folks. And you could still be like the husband of our sister dog and find out that it was stress. You know, and I'm not going to say that it was just stress, because stress is a serious thing. So just wanted to go over those things with you guys. Again, I'm Dr. Khadisha, your board certified emergency medicine physician. And I do have a surprise coming up for you guys this week. I have an announcement, a special announcement to make this week. And I want you to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at DRKADISHAMD. And thank you for watching, and good night until next time. Bye.